Hi, I'm Welshy, and this is how I'm going to keep your attention and make sure you watch this video if you're a man. And this is how I'm going to do it if you're a woman.
Ew.
And this is how I'm going to have the video removed off the site before you've even had a chance to see it. The Chicago Bulls suck, bad credit cards are awesome, the White Sox suck, and heart is an awesome power. Did it work? Victory! Doctor Who is a long-running British drama series that's nearly as old as Sad Panda. Starring a time-travelling alien who calls himself the Doctor, the series follows his adventures as he travels through time and space in his TARDIS. At the time of this video, the 11th actor to play the Time Lord is gearing up for his second full season as the Doctor. But back in 2005, the show, after being off air for 9 years, was brought back with Northern Boy Christopher Eccleston in the title role. The responsibility on Eccleston was huge. Not only was he taking on a role that people thought doomed to failure, but he was also fronting a show that had become a target of ridicule in the years since it was on TV due to his cheap-looking sets, and, well, let's be generous, questionable acting.
So, this is a great journey of life!
In 2005, the questions being asked were, would we care about Doctor Who? Could Daleks be scary? And how could a show that had been off our screens regularly for almost an entire generation be a hit with today's audiences? The answer to all those questions was a resounding yes. Despite having some shaky moments and character direction, it became a huge hit, catching everybody off guard. While the writing obviously helped, the main reason the series took off so well for me was down to Eccleston. He carries the whole thing on his shoulders, infusing the Time Lord with boundless energy and but a very real dark side that makes him truly dangerous. Sadly, for me and for a lot of fans, this will prove to be Eccleston's only appearance as the Doctor so far. But that didn't stop him racking up a list of top moments. So join me, gentle time traveller, as I list my top 10 moments or scenes for the 9th Doctor. You may well disagree with these choices, so please, list your own if you do. Number 10. The Doctor's introduction in Rose. If there was ever a moment that the script writers, directors, actors, and pretty much everybody on production needed to nail, it's the introduction of the Doctor. Think about it. This is the first time he's appearing on screen in canon since 1996, and for some people, this is the first time they've ever seen him. So this introduction needed to be handled perfectly, and yeah, it was. The writing is quick and snappy, with Eccleston delivering it a pitch-perfect delivery, and playing it as if he's got a million things on his mind, with Rose being the last of them. He talks down to her, and just outright dismisses her without a moment's thought. Plastic.
Very clever, nice trick. Who were they then? Students? Is this a student thing or what?
Why would there be students?
I don't know.
Well, you said it. Why students?
Because to get that many people dressed up and being silly, they gotta be students.
That makes sense. Well done.
Thanks.
They're not students.
Whoever they are, when Wilson finds them, he's gonna call the police.
Who's Wilson?
Chief electrician.
Wilson's dead.
That's not funny, that's sick!
Hold on. Mind your eyes.
I've had enough of this now! Oh! What are you then? Who's that lot down there? I said, who are they?
They're made of plastic, living plastic creatures. They're being controlled by a relay device in the room, which would be a great big problem if I didn't have this. So, I'm going to go upstairs and blow it up. And I might well die in the process, but don't worry about me, no. You go on. Go on. Go and have your lovely beans on toast. Don't tell anyone about this, because if you do, you'll get them killed.
Oh, and an extra point goes to the closing line.
I'm the Doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Number 9.
Everything in order, Mr. Dickens? No, it is not.
Meeting Charles Dickens in The Unquiet Dead.
I'm not without a sense of humour. Dickens? Yes. Charles Dickens? Yes. The Charles Dickens?
Somebody move the gentleman, sir.
Charles Dickens? You're brilliant, you are. Completely 100% brilliant. How did it move?
For any actor who ever plays the role of the Doctor, there's always one defining moment where they actually become the Doctor. It's a moment where you as a fan or a viewer can look back on and see the moment where the actor nails what their version of the Doctor would be for them. For me, that moment happens when the 9th Doctor meets Charles Dickens. The Doctor is a Time Lord. He's travelled far and wide, he's visited breathtaking and amazing locations, and he's witnessed some of the most memorable and important moments from our own history. But it's always great to show that he can still get excited over the little things. Watching him have a blatant fanboy reaction to meeting one of his favourite authors is a great moment, as he almost forgets about Rose, which is in itself a huge plus. Suddenly being 29 and having a fanboy geek out just because I saw Justin in his Yankee J coat doesn't feel quite so embarrassing when I know a 900-year-old alien has the same geek out moments in him too.
You know what I mean? Rubbish, that bit. I thought you said you were my fan. Oh, well, if you can't take criticism. Go on, do the deaf a little now. It cracks me up. No, sorry, forget about that. Come on, faster!
Number 8. The dinner scene with Margaret from Boomtown. And for anyone who ever complained that Eccleston's Doctor was light on comedy and heavy on brooding, you were right. But But I like to point out this scene to people who say it was only about the brooding. The situation in itself is quite comical, as the Doctor is sitting down with an enemy who tried to kill it. Even during the scene, Margaret tries to kill him at least 3 times. But what I love is how Eccleston plays it. In a nod to one of my first videos ever posted on the site, my problem with current movie spoofs. Who now? I noted that what can sometimes sell a scene is when the actor doesn't portray the joke, and that's pretty much what happens here. Eccleston keeps a straight face and delivers his lines in an almost throwaway tone through the whole scene, which only makes his ducks and dodges even funnier.
Is in danger. A female Raxacoricophalopatorian can manufacture a poison dart within her own finger.
Yes, I did.
It also manages to achieve the feat of making him look incredibly cool while he mulls over ordering steak and chips.
As a final resort, the excess poison can be exhaled through the lungs.
That's better. Now then, what do you think? Steak looks nice. Steak and chips.
Number 7.
My planet's gone.
The Doctor opens up from the end of the world.
It burned like the Earth.
From a light moment to a dark moment, Eccleston's Doctor came into the series under a cloud of mystery. Based on what he'd said near the conclusion of the first episode, we knew something had happened to him and it clearly affected him emotionally. Episode 2, The End of the World, showcases the destruction of the Earth in a very far distant future. It's at the end of this episode that we learn a little more about this Doctor and what he's been carrying around inside of him. We don't know the whole story. Not yet.
There was a war and we lost.
But it's another standout moment for Eccleston and the Ninth Doctor as he finally confesses something about his past and shows he's becoming more comfortable with Rose. Enough!
What about your people?
I'm a Time Lord. I'm the last of the Time Lords. They're all gone. I'm the only survivor.
I guess you could say I like the scene because of where it's taking place.
I'm left travelling on my own because there's no one else.
It's not even an intimate setting. It's in the middle of a high street. But it's an important step in the Doctor beginning to come to terms with what he did in his past.
You've seen how dangerous it is. Do you want to go home?
Number 6. The face-off with the Dalek from Dalek.
Sir?
I shall speak only to the Doctor.
There was always going to be a risk bringing back the Daleks. I think everyone in the UK from my age down were brought up on stories of how the Daleks had their parents hiding behind the furniture whenever they came on screen. I know I was, and I couldn't understand why people found them scary. Now, granted, I still don't really find the Daleks scary, and I'm not a child of today, so I'm not going to be affected by them the same way other people are. Safe to say, the makers of the new series put a hell of a lot of effort into making the Daleks look badass and deadly, and it worked. The only problem with them is that in this new run they've really been overexposed, but that's another story for another day. The reason this is on the list is simple. It's because of Eccleston. He's face to face with what he thought was a dead race.
Don't you see it's all gone? Everything you were, everything you stood for.
A race he thought extinct by his own hand. He witnessed the Time War, fought on the front lines, and saw the Daleks do unspeakable things. So naturally, he's pretty angry.
All right then.
I love this scene because of how intense he gets.
Orders. Follow this one.
Spit flies and there's no warmth or joy in the Doctor, just anger and rage.
Kill yourself.
It's powerful, and it's a scene I don't think any other Doctor could have pulled off as well as Eccleston.
You finish the job and make the Daleks extinct. Rid the universe of your filth. Why don't you just die?
You would make a good Dalek.
Number 5.
Oh, you should have seen it.
Everything dies from the end of the world.
The last human.
This was a moment that really stirred the pot when it came to the Doctor Who purists, who didn't really agree with the Doctor willingly letting a human die. Now these aren't to be confused with the same purists who say that he never holds a gun, because after watching the Matt Smith trailer, a lot of these people thought, he's holding a gun, the Doctor never holds a gun, he's gonna suck, because these people couldn't get off David Tennant's dick long enough to realise that the Doctor has held a gun before. Sorry, I went off topic there. So Cassandra, taking into account that this human was responsible for the deaths of many a creature, I'd say he was justified in his actions. And it should be noted that he doesn't actually kill Cassandra. He just refuses to moisturise her, which, with the result in the rise in temperature, causes her to crack and shatter. I guess what I love most about this scene is how dark the Doctor goes. This is really the first glance we see of his darker side and how little compassion he shows for Cassandra. He doesn't move, he just stares. Seriously, this is a Doctor you do not want to cross.
Moisturize me!
Doctor! Oh, Doctor!
Help her.
Everything has its time and everything dies.
I am too young!
Number 4.
Let's go meet the neighbours.
You can't.
The confrontation with the Daleks from the parting of the ways. What's better than a confrontation between one Dalek? How about a confrontation with the entire Armada and its Emperor?
Is that it? Useless. Nul point.
I put this scene above the single confrontation because this is a different Doctor from the one we saw in Dalek. He's not so war-torn and guilt-ridden, and travelling with Captain Jack and her have allowed him to mellow a little. You could almost say he's gone through something of a character arc. You know, that thing where a character begins a show as one thing, and then through the show ends up as something else thanks to the experiences they've gone through. It's a shame that not every character in Doctor Who went through this. But back to the scene. What I love about this scene is again the way the Doctor handles the situation, giving us a glance at his rage and his confidence. He steps out to confront the Daleks, he taunts them, and even scares them. Like I said, this is one badass Doctor.
How did you survive the Time War?
They survived through me.
Rose, Captain, this is the Emperor of the Daleks.
You destroyed us, Doctor. The Dalek race died in your inferno, but my ship survived, falling through time, crippled but alive.
I get it.
Do not interrupt! Do not interrupt! Do not interrupt!
I think you're forgetting something. I'm the Doctor, and if there's one thing I can do, it's talk. I've got 5 billion languages, and you haven't got one way of stopping me. So if anybody's going to shut up, it's you! Okie doke. So, where were we?
Number 3.
That's what I see.
Saving Rose from Parting of the Ways.
Doesn't it drive you mad?
My head
Come here.
is killing me.
I think you need a doctor.
A scene I wish I could reverse. But seriously, this is the moment where the Doctor, a man who's been carrying around the guilt and the remorse of wiping out 2 races for the entire series, is able to find redemption as he saves the blonde one at the cost of his own life. My favourite moment for this scene is just before he blows the time fumes back into the TARDIS. The gold eyes and the look on his face, it's an almost frightening expression. And the moment when he releases the energy and takes in what he's done, you can almost see the weight being lifted from his shoulders. And taking away my hate for the character of Rose, it's still a shame that we had to put up with her at the loss of Eccleston. And I'm not blaming Billie Piper for this. As I've stated many times, I like Billie Piper, especially when she plays a call girl. Ooh, baby. Number 2.
Rose Tyler. I was going to take you to so many places. Barcelona? Not the city, Barcelona. The planet, Barcelona. You'd love it. Fantastic place. They've got dogs with no noses.
The 9th Doctor's regeneration from Parting of the Ways.
Still funny.
Then why can't we go?
Maybe you will. And maybe I will. But not like this.
Now this is almost a counterbalance to how I began the top 10. Introducing a new Doctor and getting it right is bad enough. But after you've introduced him and gotten your audience to fall in love with him, how do you explain the concept of regeneration?
But it's a bit dodgy, this process. You never know what you're going to end up with. Stay away!
How do you communicate to an audience, some of who've never seen the show before, that this face is leaving, a new face is taking over, but the face will still be the Doctor? It's a move that, if handled incorrectly, can cause everybody to desert the show. Here, it's handled perfectly. The Doctor has just saved Rose, willingly, giving his life to save a single soul. Through this entire series, he's carried around the guilt of his actions and the memories of war, and his reward is to save a life and be reborn a new man.
It means I'm going to change. And I'm not going to see you again. Not like this. Not with this daft old face.
His final words are perfect, and so in tune with what this Doctor was about.
Rose. Before I go, I just want to tell you were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And you know what? So was I.
And he goes out with a smile. For a new audience, this is the perfect way to regenerate the Doctor.
Hello. Okay. New teeth. That's weird. So where was I? Oh, that's right. Barcelona.
And the number one pick for my favourite moment or scene for the 9th Doctor.
You want moves, Rose? I'll give you moves. Everybody lives, Rose. Just this once! Everybody lives!
This is my favourite moment for Eccleston because it reflects so much on this Doctor's story. He was born in war, and through most of this season he's had to witness death of all those around him. So to be able, for once, to save everyone, it's a huge moment for him as he's almost giving life to the people around him. I mean, just watch Eccleston during these scenes. His unbridled joy at being able to save everyone is a great moment, and any and all signs of the war-torn, damaged Doctor vanish just for this moment. And it's probably his character high point for the season.
In the past, you're probably going to find that they're cured. Just tell them what a great doctor you are. Don't make a big thing of it. Okay.
Dr. Constantine,
Mrs. Harcourt, how much better you are looking.
my leg's grown back. When I come to the hospital, I had one leg.
Well, there is a war on. Is it possible you miscounted?
So that's my list for the top 10 moments for the 9th Doctor. If you agree or disagree, please, there's a comment section. List your choices. If you want to take the time and make a video, I'll happily watch it too. Be interested to see if you guys agree or disagree with me and on what parts you agree and disagree on. I will be doing a top 10 for the 10th Doctor and the 11th Doctor, but that'll be a so far, considering he's so early into his run as the Doctor. Until then, I'm Welshy, and I really wish I had hair like Nash. Yeah. Long hair. Now, I need to work on the voice.